Now, how many people do you know, though, survive a wreck where the top speed limit is 35 miles an hour? Mm-hmm. But I can go around the curve safely at 45 or 50, right? So how fast would I have to be going to actually lose control of the vehicle? Faster than that? If I'm going faster than that, why was I barely injured in the first wreck, except for some neck problems, right? And shaved eyebrow, left side, right? And cuts in the hand. That's it. That's it. Is that normal? No. No. What can I do about it? If that happened or not, does that make me schizophrenic? No. No. Why don't it though? It's what happened. I don't know. It's like if you again, right, make something up or not, right? If you're making it up, it's you. But if it really happened, it's not you, right? It really happened, right? Then I'm not mentally ill to think that a miracle, am I? Even if that's under psychiatric parts of the mental illness of schizophrenia. The problem is, medically, that's all that happened, right? and all you can say is that's supernatural, right? And not what normally happens in an average car wreck, where you got to be going over 50 miles per hour or more to even lose control around that curve, right? To wreck it, possibly, right? And not even try to stop, right? By the way, right? But if someone put a brick on the accelerator and wrecked you in the car, what would happen then? I don't know. Would it get up to more than 35 miles an hour? I don't know. I don't know. But they would also have to do something to knock you out before they put you in the car. Now, if you're knocked out versus wrecking in the car, right, and the highest they can get it up to would be to somehow point the car in the direction of the curve, right, of the embankment, put a brick on the accelerator, right, and how fast in that short amount of time do you think the car would get up to that, right? If I only had minimal scratches, right, and was out the hospital in 2 days. Both ways. If I was hit over the head with some kind of weapon, like, say, a bat, shotgun, whatever, but was only in the hospital 2 days. And out in 2 days. Regardless of what happened, whether I wrecked the car or not, you don't normally black out in a wreck anyway, no matter the speed. If you do, it's got to be a real bad wreck involving not major head trauma, but severe head trauma. I mean, we're talking about one of those wrecks where the whole car's crushed in on you almost, right? And to black you out, right? With one, right? We're not talking about a curve where the speed limit was 35 and I went back around it at over 60, 45 to 50, right? And did so safely before, right? And again, right? Now, I ain't gonna go much faster than that, though what? That's just being cautious, right? But if I can do it at least at 50, right? What does that say about the speed limit I would have to go, right? And how bad would the wreck be there? Mm-hmm. But if you put a brick on the accelerator at the same time, right? How bad would the brick? How fast would the car be going, right? Same scenario, right? I don't know either. But would it be going that fast? No. It can't be going 50 or 60 either. But if it didn't even catch on fire, right? Or did some damage but not total damage, right? All to the front end, right? And most cars are front end heavy if they go off an embankment, right? But it would go airborne a little bit and then crash, right? But how far? 5, 10 feet? I don't know, right? How high would it get, right? 5, 7 feet? I don't know, right? I'm the one with the amnesia from the wreck, right? But whatever happened prior to the wreck, I survived it all. Even if I was hit over the head and put in the car, right? You understand? Now, what's worse, though? Being hit over the head, put in the car, and wrecked at 35 miles an hour, where you get minimally cut up, right? So, or not knowing what happened and having to figure it out for yourself, right? Yet, at the same time, it's like with the 3-story fall. See, it's called Munchausen by proxy if you're not telling the truth, right? Right. But if you are telling the truth, what's it called then? A fact. You really did it. Now, if I used my head though and got off the roof some other way, right? I can't prove or disprove that with amnesia, right? But if I was attacked in the front, they had to make it look as if I fell 3 stories. But if it's human beings trying to make someone look like they fell 3 stories, what's going to happen to the actual injury? It could be worse or better, right? Or less than, right? See, what does it look like at the car wreck? It was less than the damage that should have happened, right? Except for one area, the neck, right? But if you're hit over the head with a weapon, you would get the same results, right? Right? But I'm crazy. I'm mentally ill. I'm psychologically unsound, right? But I can forensically understand that, even with the wreck at the Publix, that is, if something's to the left of you, you're facing left and still in the left-hand lane, right? But if it's to the right of you, you pulled into the other person's lane and they're hitting you, right? And on your side of the vehicle, right? Why can't someone else figure that out, like the insurance company themselves? I know. Ain't it sad that person labeled as mentally ill can figure out something suspicious is going on around him, but whoever's doing it to him is just using him maliciously and taking advantage of him, right? And because of the mental illness, he can't do nothing to prove who it is, right? Even if it's a police officer named Martin who did so to me, right? Y'all don't seem to care and grant him sovereign immunity in it, right? Which is like, what? I don't know. Judge Michael giving him the same immunity I got with my involvement with Mark, right? But mine was only over a few little toy guns and some jewelry Mark took, right? From the house, which he went in and knew the window was open somehow. And I had no clue what was going on because I was fresh from a wreck, right? And just playing along, didn't know we would even find the house, right? But all that's my fault. Well, the inside looks worse than the outside, by the way. By the way, that's the whole point here, right? You're walking by sight, not by faith, still, aren't you? I look a pretty picture on the outside, right? And see, I got a little cut on my hand this ceiling, right? And he thinks my blackhead's up here, which kind of come up all at once, right? And I scratch him. By the way, He thinks that's some kind of serious sword. It's called his own view of reality is warped, right? And he's trying to warp me like he's warped, right? But I'm not trying to let him warp me, right? But I'm the crazy one. I'm the mentally ill one because I survived a car wreck, oddly, in a 3-story fall, which normal people, how many actually do that? Show me a statistic. I bet you can't. I bet you can't. Why don't they do that kind of statistic? Because the guy in the Bible died and Paul had to raise him from the dead? I don't know. How high do you have to fall, awake or asleep, for it to be something that could kill you? When Jesus was tempted with the Temple Mount, we know it's at least over 59 feet, right? Because that's how tall the tallest wall at the Wailing Wall in Jerusalem is, where the old temple used to be. Herod's temple, right? Solomon's temple kind of probably got smashed by it, whatever, through the years, right? Because it was built on top of the ruins, probably, I guess. I don't know, I wasn't there. I'm not Herod nor you. But like I said, you want to walk by sight only. You want to see to believe, right? You don't want to hear and see, right? Hearing being the primary thing, right? Listening to the Word of God. Not just looking around you, children. Stop, children, what's that sound? You want to look what's going round. But you don't want to listen, right? To the footsteps coming up behind you either. You don't want to hear either. And you only want to see, right? What you think is the truth. But it could really be a lie from the devil himself. Now, all I can do as a man is warn my fellow brothers, only God is true and it's the spirit. That's why we're not it. We're matter. And only one of us, or a few of us, can be as God, right? The rest of you seem to want to be like the creature that taught us good and evil. What do you think it means to give someone the knowledge of good and evil if everything we did in Eden was very good until the 7th day, right? And within 930 years after Adam ate, he died. And I wonder what 1,000 minus 930 equals to. 70? Right. So, did he sin in the 70th year of the 7th day? The same amount of time the temple was destroyed in Jerusalem. Okay, that's not a coincidence. That's not a coincidence. It's a fact. It's a fact. See, the temple of Adam and Eve were destroyed by the ambiguous nature of the sex with Satan, right? He did it both naturally and obscure, right? And introduces us to both natural and obscure sex, right? Or what we call today butt sex or vaginal sex, right? And you're still doing both, by the way. You're still knowing good and evil. But I don't judge you for it. Because that's one of the sins, right? Is to condemn the people who are gay for it. That's another thing Satan taught you to do is evil, right? See, he also taught you can forgive who you want to forgive and condemn who you want to condemn, right? That's not real mercy. That's not real mercy. Real mercy is, even if someone's doing you wrong, you forgive them anyway, no matter what they do, right? But you can't handle that kind of mercy, right? Can you, right? Now, like I said, when Jesus was before them, all he could do is say a few words in his brief defense, right? But when they asked him if he was the Christ, the Son of the Blessed, he had to say, I am. You said it. You said it. That's right. That's right. Who am I? The witness of Christ, right? The true one. The true one. Who won't let Judaism or Catholicism fuck him up like they did. See, they're blaming the Jews for their lack of faith in the whole scriptures because that's what they did. They dissected it first, right? And started focusing only on the references to God that seemed to be acting like it was male only, right? But El he knew, and El hey don't fit, right? But El he, El fit, right? El who he fits, right? Too. But not El only, El only. See, El is the first form, right? The form of God, right? The second two forms are from the first, right? But all three are one in Christ Jesus. All three are one in Christ Jesus. He's also the mediator between us both, right? The male and the female, the Jew and the Gentile, the bond and the free, right? Well, part of that don't you understand, right? If I'm a mediator, that means both are represented in me 50-50 at least, right? That means I have boobs similarly to a woman, but also a penis, but also a vagina too, right? And my testicles and ovaries are all in my body, right? That's what that means, right? If I have a womb, I can have a child. If I don't, I can't, right? See, she was also made, and he was also made fully male and female. Whereas in the form, it's not 100% full, but enough to warrant a warning not to be with something like that, right? Is that the sin Adam hid in his bosom, according to Job 31. 33. Or 32, right? 32 and 33, I think, right? Now, even Job, though, knows God is not a man as I am in chapter 9, or around the same place, 28, 27, somewhere in there. Right? So does Hosea, right? El Lo-ish. El Lo-ish. But you don't seem to know that. You think your being, the image, is the image of God. It's not, right? Because God can't take a woman out of you to make her again. He only did that once with one being, Adam. Now, Christ could do that. Right? In fact, he became all three. But what form is Satan and the fallen angels in? That first form, right? They're not supposed to do that either, right? Being that they're making themselves adults, like Adam, but not dividing into two either. So if you do that, you're in the reproductive form of God. Who cares who you have sex with them? But if you do it in the image of God, right? You can be with both Adam and Eve and trick them both into being with you and fuck it up for the rest of the world. And they know good and evil and condemn each other for it, right? As you set out to do from the beginning if you're Satan, right? Why can't you simply see that? Is the coherent, comprehensive, full truth of the whole story. It don't matter to you that Ezekiel and Isaiah brings it out more to explain it, right? You want to ignore what they said, right? And I can give you the scriptures again, 28 and 31 in Ezekiel, and also 14 of Isaiah, right? And you find the seals mentioned in 29:11, right? Again, right? But if you don't read it and you don't apply it, you're still misinterpreting what Isaiah's saying there, right? Is he saying, oh, I give you permission to seal the seals and play dumb like you can't learn what the seals are? Or he's saying that's why your heart is far from God, right? You won't learn and teach the seals. You teach what you think is important to God, right? To ab limit, right? And to make it a short, condensed version of what was said, right? but still say the general point, right? Right? All right. Okay, then. Have a nice day still.